You'd made the decision to leave Gamma and go into another role. I think a direct sales role was it the first time. That's a big change after 13 years. What made you do that, and what made you go into an industry where you're going to be the new kid on the block? And quite frankly, you don't know if you were going to be successful. How did you even know you were going to be successful in that company?
Well, I think always believe you. I mean, if you're going to bet on yourself, got to at least bet on yourself, right?
Yeah.
I think I'd probably I'd done a lot to be grateful for the 13 years at Gamma with the people I worked with, and it's an amazing organisation. And I think probably during COVID as well, bit of reflection and just sort of lost that little bit of hunger in my belly, and just wanted to go out there and challenge myself again. I'd walked into resellers left, right and centre, right, and I thought, and take nobody offended, it can't be that hard, right? So I thought I'd give it a go, but I didn't want to be that guy that would sit there either at the end of the end of the career in a Wetherspoon somewhere, drowning my sorrows, going, I wish I'd have given that a go. So the opportunity came up, go challenge myself, and if it didn't, and I wanted to see what the other side of the fence looked like. I've spent so much time on channel, but if you go back to sort of my early days, I was a direct salesperson, right? I was cold calling, I was doing my own appointments, I was making first time sales, so I wanted to go and find that inner hunger, and I think and the other bit about channel, and I love it, but you lose that control. So you can't control whether that deal comes in, or you can't. You can, but you're so many parts removed from the end user, the field sales guy, the reseller, to the channel. So having that control, I love the buzz of the sale, and the highs. And this is our job, right? The highs are the highs, and the lows are the lows, and very, very, very few times do we get anything in between.
Let's bring it up to date. Your current role now. At the beginning of the podcast, we talked about 3 brands. Now, I don't know many people. In fact, I haven't had anyone on the podcast that has to sell or cover 3 brands. How is that? It must be quite challenging to sort of put 3 hats on every day or every day, other day. So how do you juggle it, Rowan?
It's an excellent question.
Don't you?
And I'm hoping my CEO is not watching this one. I'm hoping I juggle it effectively. I think, time management, isn't it? Prioritisation, and what's weird is they've all got very different sales cycles. So the Candio, the software as a service stuff, is sort of, our financial year ends end of September, but because we do X amount of months free because it's an opt-out product. Well, actually, for our financial year, that ends this month, the end of this month, because we're waiting for the free period to kick in and then the billing goes. So that's a different bit. And the Techland stuff, it's really different sales cycle. It can be 3 to 6 months from quote to order. And then the Pragma business works, can be very, that's based on when something's going to go and get a product's going to get installed. So they're all very different. So it's just, how do I do it? I have a good team around me, to be fair. And they've got a real grip on it, and it's about working with those guys really and empowering them to make sure that I don't have to manage it every single day, to the minutiae point. But it's about, I suppose, having the good people. You're as your team. You're as strong as your team. Is as strong as your weakest member, and we've got a really good team that do have a good handle on that sales cycle and manage it.
Have you got a particular favourite that you brand you prefer selling, or that you find easier?
Oh God, I do have a favourite.
I'm putting you on the spot now. What don't you like selling out of those 3?
You might as well say, do I have a favourite child?
We all have a favourite child, right?
I know, but that's definitely not going out on publicly. I love you both, if you're listening. You're both my favourites for different reasons. I think they're just different.
You're not going to sit on the fence here, Rowan, are you? Come on. There's got to be one that you find easier.
Do you know what? I think if you look at the Enable X brand, the Pragma is its foundation. That's its heritage.
Right.
And that's a big chunk of the business. And that's sort of that's been the mainstay in the solid foundation that's got the Enable X group to where it is now. Candio's like the new kid on the block, which is growing at a rapid rate, and there's nobody else doing what we're doing. So that's the new and exciting part of the business. And the Techland piece is a different beast in the sense of selling into VARs, selling into MSPs, selling into SIs, and it's hardware and software and support and professional services. So I love them all dearly. Just maybe ask me when I'm in a different mood on a different day.
Yeah, we'll sit on the fence.
I'll let you interpret which one my favourite is.
As a sales and marketing director, and it's a key question for you because you've already mentioned it. You've got 3 brands that are very different sales cycles. Bringing marketing to work with those 3 brands, normally they work on a reluctant basis. Sales and marketing, they're supposed to blend together, but they don't always go. How do you juggle it, and how do you get the engagement between sales and marketing across either brand or any of the 3 brands that you deal with? It must be a tough gig.
It is. You'd have to ask my marketing manager if I actually do any of those things. I think if you were to ask me, from a marketing background, if you were to ask me and people who know me to write a bit of copy, then I'd struggle, right? But if you're asking how do people actually want to receive the marketing and the things that we actually have, and how does a customer want to see it? Because I've sat on both sides of the fence. It's all about simplificationism. I'm not an overly complicated individual, and customers aren't. I think we overcomplicate stuff. So I suppose I'm, in terms of linking it, I'm the filter between overcomplication and simplificationism, where I can actually, I think we can get it where we don't talk about 20 features and 20 benefits. All a good salesperson needs is 3 golden nuggets and maybe 2 in their back pocket when they're having a conversation, and then it's phone a friend or phone somebody else that can help them to fill in the other gaps. So I try to link it in to make it simple, so that what the marketing that we have is relevant to both partners and our end users. But I think a lot of people spend so much time overcomplicating stuff. And because I'm not very good at complicating stuff, I just go for simplificationism. So I'm brilliant at that. So that is how I link it all in.
Now, I noticed your company, and I noticed you guys at the Tech Reseller Awards. And I didn't know, I'd heard of Pragma, I didn't know much about the 2 other brands, but I thought you'd be a great guest to come on.
Sorry to disappoint.
Yeah, sorry to disappoint the listeners. But how much success, and I want an honest answer.
Yeah.
How much success do you actually get from these type of awards? Why do you do them, and what value do they bring to your customers? Why do you enter?
Why do I enter? I mean, who doesn't like a night out? Not a fan of black tie. If we could just scrap that, anyone who's watching, please. Smart catch is fine these days. I think it's about, we've talked about the Enable X is still a relatively unknown brand, and people might know us for the Pragma bit, they might know us for the Techland bit, and they might know us for the Candio. So it's about trying to bring those together. It's about trying to get the recognition that the business and our team deserve. But more importantly, it's about the channel getting the recognition. So if we can have these awards, and these and the, I suppose, certificates or the credibility that gives, well, if that helps our partners to be able to differentiate themselves in what can be a saturated market and a very competitive market, then that's what we should do. That's the benefit for the customer. It's about, they want to know that they are with the right partner, the right supplier. So if we can do that, then I think it's a good thing to do. So booze and night out and networking aside, actually, we pick up some of our really good leads.
You pick up leads from them?
Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah.
I mean, I know one of my colleagues who, just by having a cigarette outside with the CEO of a business, managed to get a meeting, and that's still ongoing in terms of progress. So, yeah, you can have a couple, because again, we're known names in the industry. So,
and am I right in thinking, I can't remember the actual award? It was networking and
communications and networking distributor of the year.
Yeah, and you were up for 3 awards.
Yes.
On the night that you won the one.
Candio was up for 1, and I can't remember the other one. Sorry.
Congratulations on winning that.
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
Absolutely. In your opinion, how important are face-to-face events for your sales and marketing team's efforts? We talked about that, the turning up at the Tech Awards. You know, you mentioned to me offline that you're going to the CRN Awards or trying to enter that as well. But what about other face-to-face events? Are you people that turn up for networking events and stuff?
I think, the powers that be in our business love a golf event. 100%. I think I was only recruited on the basis of designated survivor.
Can you play golf?
No. So I was only recruited on the basis that designated survivor. If everybody was at a golf day and the whole world went wrong, then I'm the one in charge. So God forbid if that.
You don't play golf at all?
No.
No, I don't.
I think we did a golf day recently, and somebody said, "Show us you drive," and I went, did it. And he went, "Yeah, good shout. Don't bother." But I think in terms of bit of networking, but I think that they are important. I think during the past few years, people missed it, and I also think it's a good to bring partners. But we did the Channel Champions recently, and we took the whole internal team of 10 on the table. So
really?
It's a good reward as well. To get recognise our partners, but recognise people in our tech team or other departments that wouldn't normally go out on a Thursday afternoon in Regent's Park.